How's it? Indian Cowboy coming at you on Friday, September 24th, as we get this video to you every day around this time. Have a jam-packed video today. We'll talk about 2 college football games and also talk to you about 5 to 6 college football games for Saturday as well. So we're talking about at least 7 or 8 leans today, and we'll have the rest of the NFL content for you tomorrow. Live show tonight for YouTube Premium members. The live show goes off at 7 Eastern tonight. Looking forward to seeing all you guys. Excited to see you guys. We're going to have at least 13 free picks on tonight's video as well. YouTube Premium. We'll have 2 extra thoughts for you after this video on a separate video. But let me tell you a quick recap of what's up in our neck of the woods. I am Indian Cowboy. This is DocSports.com. Indian Cowboy has been around for 17 years, and Doc Sports has been around for 51 years, since the early 1971. So our best selections are over at DocSports.com. And that's our premium selections. Our next best selection is our YouTube premium selection, which went 2-0 yesterday, by the way. And then after that, we give our free picks and leans here every day. So, if you want to join the YouTube Premium, the link is below there. You can always join. And we give you about 100 extra free selections, 2 every day on a daily video usually, and then about 13 extra football picks on a Thursday night or Friday at 7. Usually it's Thursday at 9 p.m., though, the live show. And yesterday, we did really well when it comes to WNBA playoffs. We started off 1-0, plus 500, with Chicago getting it done over Dallas. Chicago had double revenge, so that's why we rode that. And we are 32-17 in the WNBA playoffs for plus 6,900 or something, or plus 6,800 since 2017. So we've always done well in the WNBA playoffs. Baseball, we split, went 1-1. Had the Phillies run line, and then we also had the Texas Rangers, which lost. The Phillies run line won 10-6. 8-3 run in baseball for plus 2,200. Second half of baseball plus 4,100. 5 straight winning second halves now. We had won 4 straight years in baseball coming in. We're on a good run now. We're on a plus 5,555 run right now. We have a 7-unit baseball selection today between the Astros and the Athletics. Excited about that. Join us for that if you would like to. Then when it comes to soccer, by the way, that phone call is a scam likely. I like these scam likely things, man. You know how your phone lets you know if it's a scam, so then you don't have to pick it up, which is great. By the way, somebody asked me how the name Indian Cowboy came about. It's pretty simple. I live in Alabama, and born and raised in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and live in Alabama and stuff, and so it's just a Southern kid who loves cornbread, sweet tea, and fried chicken. So that's how it came about. So just a love of. It's funny. I probably didn't even realize I was Indian until I was like 10 years old. So maybe it's a fish out of water early on. But that's how that name came about. Just a brown person that loves cornbread, sweet tea, and fried chicken, and grew up in Bama. But 7-unit baseball played today. Soccer, 3-unit between Tijuana and Mazatlan. And WNBA, starts back on Sunday. Korean baseball winning season so far. MMA, 3 selections on Saturday as well. And 7 football plays this week, coming off back-to-back winning football weeks, of course. 8-2 start to the regular football season. 7-unit selection on the Tennessee Titans, plus 6.5 over Seattle last week. That was an outright winner. That was week 2. Week 1, we had Arizona plus a 3 over Tennessee. That was an outright winner, 38-13. So 7 plays, 1 college and 6 NFL plays this week. All right, let's roll with your free pick today. For your free pick today, and we're going to talk more in depth about some ball games here. For your free pick today, I like Virginia minus the points in college football. I think Virginia will do well today. One of my favorite coaches is Brocco Mendenhall, and he used to coach Boise State actually. And I like Virginia minus the 3.5 here. A couple things about Virginia here. Well, first of all, Wake Forest is 3-0, which is interesting. But Virginia should be motivated because they come off a 59-39 loss as a plus 7.5 road dog to North Carolina. That's an impressive win, or not win, but an impressive effort given that North Carolina desperately needed to win that game. Wake Forest won 40-23 last year, so Virginia, of course, has a little bit of revenge. And Bronco Mendenhall is a defensive-minded coach, so the fact that they gave up 49 points last week, or 59 points, I should say, last week, I think they will be motivated defensively. And, this team beat Illinois 42-14, and the game prior was 43-0. The Cavaliers of Virginia are 5-0 ATS against the spread in the last 5 games as a home favorite. I like Virginia as the home favorite today against Wake Forest, and I love Bronco Mendenhall. Another lean for you today is Liberty-Syracuse under. Not a tough schedule so far for Liberty, in my opinion, but they're coached by a fantastic coach in Hugh Freeze, who had all sorts of issues in Ole Miss, but he knows how to win football games. And Syracuse lost to Rutgers, by the way, but held them to 195 yards of total offense, which is pretty impressive. You know who coaches Rutgers? Greg Schiano. Greg Schiano Part 2, 2.0, after he had left to the NFL and then came back. Syracuse wants revenge from losing to Liberty 38-21 last year. I think they'll play much better defense today. I think this will come down to a very close game, but it's hard to go against Hugh Freeze because Hugh Freeze always knows the spread. Go back and look at the ATS for Liberty. Hugh Freeze always knows the spread. The Orange are 6-1 ATS in the last 7 games, by the way. But remember, at the end of the day, I think this comes down. Remember, whenever Syracuse is competitive, Dino Barber's team is competitive, they go to the under. When they lost to NC State, it was, or I should say, when they lost to Boston College last year, or this year, it was 13-16 as a plus 14.5 point dog. Or I think that was last year, actually. But and then you have Liberty, who is a fantastic team. They beat Virginia Tech last year. They beat they beat Virginia Tech. They beat Syracuse last year, and they have some huge wins last year. But keep in mind that Syracuse beat Ohio as a +2 dog, and the final score was 29-9. Syracuse can play fantastic defense when they need and want to, and given the fact they gave up 31 points to this Liberty team last year, I don't see that happening again this year. Lean on the under Liberty and Syracuse today. I think that's the only way they'll be able to hang tough, and I think Liberty will face a really good ACC team defense today, and I think Syracuse will try to keep the ball away from Liberty and try to hold on to the ball more and run the ball. That's how they beat Ohio 29-9. Finally, let's get to your college football leans real fast. What are we doing on time here? Okay, let's crank this out. I'll keep the NFL leans for tomorrow because the video is kind of going a little long here. YouTube Premium, it's between the Yankees and Red Sox and Texas and Baltimore. By the way, we went 2-0 on YouTube Premium yesterday. Of course we did. We gave you Carolina under and the Monday Night Football game or Thursday Night Football game, Carolina and Texans under. And we also gave you a brilliant call on the under in the Orioles game. I mean, think about it. Why is the ERA between two guys at 16 and the line is listed at 9 or 8? It makes perfect sense to take the under, and we did. So YouTube Premium, by the way, is now on a remarkable 3-1, 8-4, 11-5, 14-6, 18-8, 35-20, 39-21, 45-24. I don't know if we're going to keep hitting at that clip, but you basically get 100 extra selections a month, which is phenomenal. All right, your leans today, college football. I like Kentucky for starters against South Carolina. Kentucky has a negative turnover margin. They're 8-2 turnover margin this year, yet somehow they're 3-0 and 2-1 ATS, which probably indicates they're better than their numbers indicate. They're just making key mistakes at the wrong time. But Kentucky beat Missouri this year. Missouri probably has a better offense than South Carolina, frankly, and I believe Kentucky has a better offense and defense. The difference here is that you have a South Carolina team that's getting a lot of attention from the media, and I think Kentucky is tired of it. I think Kentucky is going to roll in there, and right after the Georgia game, I think they're going to be hungover. I think Kentucky gets in there, probably gets after it. And remember, that Missouri win was really impressive for Kentucky. You have to be impressed with Kentucky. Not win necessarily, but the fact they were so competitive against Missouri is pretty impressive because they're a good team. I like Kentucky minus the points. Tennessee and Florida. Give me Tennessee here. Florida beats, keep in mind that Tennessee will get up for this game. And Florida could be hungover from the Alabama game. Josh Heupel loves a fast-paced, quick contest. Emory Jones is a dual-threat quarterback. Richardson likely sees maybe some action too. I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes over the posted total, but I just think it's a massive letdown spot for Florida after everyone thinks they can compete against Alabama for a title, etc. I think Tennessee rolls in there and probably loses by 14, so keep that in mind. Texas A&M and Arkansas, laying on the under there. The total is low for a reason. We had it at 41, actually. I actually think Arkansas will be a good active dog, too, but Arkansas does active dog to the under. They're one of the few teams that goes active dog under. The game played is at a neutral site. Jerry Jones is an Arkansas alum, so he'll be there. Aggies struggled against Colorado, not a good look. They weren't that great against New Mexico on offense either. Arkansas's 0-9 against Texas A&M lately as well. I think Arkansas will play phenomenal defense. They'll frustrate them. The under is 4-1 for the Aggies when they face a team with a winning record. Arkansas will be up for this game, and it's going to be a bloodbath, a defensive battle, in my opinion. Lean on the under. Missouri, Boston College. Like Boston College. Just kidding. Like Missouri. Hold on a second. Sorry. I haven't messed up here. Yeah, Missouri beat Arkansas, Vandy, and South Carolina last year, and they lost to Kentucky by a touchdown this year. I like Missouri here. I think they're just a better team, and frankly, I think they're better coached as well. So, like Missouri for this game, okay? I just think they are the better team overall, and I was really impressed with their contest against Kentucky, and Boston College hasn't played anybody. Finally, Georgia State and Auburn. I like Georgia State here. I follow Georgia State pretty closely, actually. And Auburn struggles. I think, given the fact that Auburn played Penn State so closely, I think they have a huge letdown here. Georgia State football has been coming around for several years. They played a lot of big-name schools, made a lot of money, building the program up there. And they lost to UNC by 17-59 early this year. Sean Elliott of the Panthers said they're not going to be intimidated by anybody, which is great. Keep in mind that Auburn has LSU on deck. Auburn off a huge effort against Penn State. And everybody's like, oh, I'm so impressed with Auburn. They almost beat Penn State. Oh, that's great. The Sandwich State is a random Georgia State game. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Georgia State hangs on and loses by 20 or 21. So lean on Georgia State here as well. Great public fare. That's what we have for you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. I will make sure to try to have your NFL thoughts later tomorrow on tomorrow's video. And, of course, live show. See you tonight at 7 Eastern. We'll have 13 extra football picks there for YouTube Premium members. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you enjoyed it, please it takes a lot of time to put together. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Indian Cowboy working hard for you every single day.